Hello, welcome to Vim Yoga, the Champagne Yogi. I have a new guest today, and I'd like to introduce you to Karen Phillips, who is the author of Get Carman, a wonderful autobiography, or biography, I would say.
Yes, it's the life of George Carman KC and his cases.
So can you tell us a bit about him so we get to know the flavor of the book that you've written?
I mean, George is probably the most famous advocate this century, who did all the very high-profile cases, like the conspiracy to murder, which was a case against Jeremy Thorpe, who was the leader of the Liberal Party. He did many libel cases involving Tom Cruise, Elton John. He did a fraud case involving Ken Dodd, the comedian. He acted for Mohamed Al-Fayed in the Cash for Questions case, and many, many more.
My goodness, what an impressive career! And how did you get this idea about writing this book about him?
Well, when George died, he left me his papers.
Oh, I see.
So I used those in combination with lots of interviews of clients and lawyers that he worked with to try and understand a lot more about the cases.
Oh, that must have been a fascinating job for you to do, to get all the notes together and read all about his cases. Yes, what exciting. Now, I wanted to ask you about how your mood is, your champagne ritual before you started to write the book.
Right. Well, I would say that I start off the day with a walk in the gardens near me with this beautiful Bernedoodle called Digby, who's always very pleased to see me. And I think the combination of walking with a lovely animal and being in the fresh air is very important.
Very important. I agree with you. So on a scale from calm, chaos, where are you arriving from today, and what helped you land here?
Well, I'm in a state of calm, but it's helped enormously by yoga stretches, which actually you've taught me.
Yes. Okay, I always do this to start my day. So we want to sit very tall. Yes. We're going to be breathing through the nose from the diaphragm. So as you inhale, the tummy comes out. And as you exhale, the tummy comes in. So let's just do that a few times. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now, don't you feel all of a sudden very, very calm? Because it's a natural tranquilizer to the nervous system. So the deeper you breathe, the mind just calms down on its own. You don't even have to think about it, automatic. And then we keep a lot of tension here in the neck and shoulders. So the next thing we want to do is to bring the shoulders up to the ears, up, using the breath, inhale, and down, exhale. And again, inhale, up, and down. So you see all the tension starting to leave the body. So let's do some shrugs, up and back, and forward and back. Now we're going to take the chin down to the chest, and we're going to just do some rolls of the head to the right, very slowly, and then to the left, and down. And let's go the other way. Inhale, slowly taking the head back and back to center and up.
That's really good.
Oh, I'm very glad. So I know that before you are going into a trial, this is a very good technique to do because it just centers you, it relaxes you, and gets your mind focused on the job that you need to do. So what first drew you to the bar? And why did you go down that path?
Well, I very much enjoyed acting, both at school and I did my Guildhall exams, and that's really what I was going to do. And then I studied law for a little while. I found it so fascinating to learn about the different, it's sort of subject that is useful for anybody. It doesn't matter what you end up doing. But I just found it fascinating.
Well, I've always loved the idea of law because, like you, I love drama. I was always in front of a crowd, and it didn't bother me. You have to have confidence and feel comfortable in front of other people, certainly. Yes. So I can understand, because I also had a little inkling in my mind that I might study law, but yoga took me on a completely different path.
I can imagine.
But drama was in my mind, and also so was the law. Yes, you need that confidence.
The difference is, of course, in law you don't have the script, whereas in acting you're learning something.
That's true, but you still need a very focused mind, and you have to have that confidence, I think.
Completely.
Yes. Even then, and the other thing about law, even like you said, you don't really, let's say you don't really become a lawyer, but that principles that you learn can take you through your whole life.
Completely.
Yes, I think people want to be heard. So how do you think that the wellness industry can actually help with difficult meetings for your listening and your preparation? So how do you feel that that actually would help your nerves?
If you can calm your nerves, then I think it's very important that then you're free to concentrate on what's being discussed.
Yes.
And particularly with legal matters, it is complex. There are often a lot of facts. I mean, I'm sure you find that if you go and see a medical consultant, it's the same. If you're out of your comfort level and you don't understand what's being discussed, one thing I would always say, make notes, and really the salient facts are just kept basically in front of you so that you know what's being discussed. And it's always very good to take someone along to a meeting, a legal meeting. So there are 4 ears instead of 2.
Ah, that's a very helpful hint. Do you think because people they're just not concentrating, or they are...
Well, I think they panic about the situation they're in, and that therefore if somebody can be sitting calmly beside them, just listening to everything, they can at least discuss it.
That's a very helpful tool, to take somebody else with you that actually will absorb and is not in that emotional state where they are calm and they can assist later.